you serious? Are you serious? Is there really an asteroid by the name of 2016 WF9? And is it really coming very close to the Earth, or even on a collision course of the Earth, maybe, February 25th? Well, what's really wild here, folks, is that there are scientists that are saying that this asteroid exists. What's strange, though, is that NASA had originally identified it and has now removed it from its list. Listen to this. If there is an asteroid, 2016 WF9, perhaps it explains why NASA is covering it up. That a comet or an asteroid, they've named it 2016 WF9, is destined to hit the Earth next month, February 25th. Or potentially could hit the Earth. That's a big difference, guys. Anyway, and wipe out millions of people, according to one self-styled astronomer. Dr. Damir Zaharovich has warned the impact could wipe out a city if it strikes land, or cause a devastating tsunami if it lands in the sea. Now, today my guest is Gil Broussard. We have 4 questions for him. One of them is there an asteroid, 2016 WF9? And if so, how close to the Earth is it going to go by? And why was it originally listed by NASA and has since been removed off their charts? Now that is a question for Gil Broussard. Number 2, where is Planet 7X? Planet X. Where is Planet X? Give us an update on that. Also, he has an announcement, a major announcement for March 15th and 16th of this year. March 15th and 16th of this year. I don't know what it is. He said, I'll make the announcement today on the broadcast. And then, what about Revelation chapter 12, that wonder in heaven? Is it going to take place in September of this year? We're going to get all of those questions on the table with Gil Broussard. But let's go back to this asteroid, because NASA revealed earlier this month that a comet or asteroid, which they call 2016 WF9, would pass very close to the Earth on February 25th, but has been quietly, eerily, very softly removed from the scene. They originally estimated it was somewhere between about a half a mile wide, somewhere between 0.3 to 0.6 of a mile. Okay, so somewhere close to half a mile wide. That is huge. Now, NASA has said it is likely that WF9 comes from the outer solar system, but Dr. Zaharovich is more specific about its origins. He believes the asteroid comes from a giant hidden planet known as Nibiru, or Planet X. And he really does believe that this is why they're no longer talking about it. It is not going to hit the Earth. If it did, it would be a cataclysmic. But the object they call WF9 left the Nibiru system, he says, in October of 2016 and has been spinning counterclockwise around the sun. Since then, NASA has known it will hit the Earth, he says, but they're only telling people now. Okay, folks, I don't want to go any further with this report. I really don't. I'm just going to ask Gil Broussard his opinion of it. I'm looking right now at the asteroid chart. Yesterday, we had an asteroid 2 days ago. On January 30th, we had an asteroid go whizzing by. The asteroid was called 2017 BH30. It was small. It was only 8 meters, but it came less than 25,000 miles from the surface of the Earth, or 0.1 lunar distance. What? Now, that was close, and NASA did not tell us about it. They say they didn't know about it till it was within 2 hours of going by the Earth. Now, yesterday, 5 asteroids went by. 2017 BN30, 2017 BJ30, 2017 BY5, and 2017 BT6, and 2017 BB7. Now, those 5 asteroids all went by the Earth and are listed in the Near-Earth Object Chart. And tomorrow, there's 3 more going to go by. 2017 BB6, 2017 BQ32, and 2017 BS32. And the list goes on. But nowhere on the list is this mysterious asteroid 2016 WF9. It was originally on the list, but it's been removed by NASA. Why? Well, we're going to keep a close eye on these things and ask Gil Brazard for his professional input, as well as the other subjects that we just mentioned. Are you serious? Now, here's what I do know. I know what the Bible says. That the Bible says that there shall be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars, and distress of nations with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring, and men's hearts would fail them for fear, for looking after those things coming upon the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Okay? So I know that. I also know that the stars are going to fall from heaven like a fig tree casts its untimely figs, as it's shaken of a mighty wind. I know that the heavens are going to roll back like a scroll. These are all, I know that we're going to have at least 2 deep impacts that bring about the wormwood effect, the bitter, the poisonous water, and 1/3 of the people of the earth shall die. These are things I can find in the Bible that I specifically know are going to take place. If Planet X or Planet 7X or Nibiru or Planet number 9, like NASA now calls it, if it is part of what brings it about, if God's using it for this, then we're going to find this out. And if there is such a thing as an asteroid that's a 1/2 mile wide, that's going to miss us but going by the Earth close, why did NASA post it on their charts? And then why did they remove it? What is that about? Now, I've seen NASA change the size of asteroids. I've seen them change the distance of asteroids as they recalculate. But why put one on the chart and then take it off? What is this about? Well, we're going to ask Gil Brazard. Don't miss today's live broadcast. Jesus is coming soon. That I know also. And you don't want to be left behind. Give your life to Jesus Christ. He's coming soon. Gil Brazard, my guest today. And Steve Quayle tomorrow. What? And Mike from around the world Friday. We got to get some answers.
Crazy message about, which is the reason I wrote my book Laughing Gas, which was that Britain would face a choice of whether we choose to stay in Europe or cut our anchors at this time. And you know, you might think that David Cameron is pro-Europe, but I don't believe that's the case. I believe he's orchestrated this. He was the one who set up, who brought about the European referendum in the first place. And then you've got Tony Blair, you know, representing sort of like Europe at the moment, while the Chilcot case is going on, which is disputing whether the Iraq war was legitimate. Not that Tony Blair can be prosecuted in this, because he's got immunity from this from the very start. So you've got this person that's representing Europe that we all absolutely loathe. We've got all these characters representing Europe at the moment. You know, Tony Blair was going to be the president of Europe, but was he? You know, in Europe it was an absolute joke. But Rupert Murdoch and all the tabloid papers are making us feel as if we absolutely loathe Europe at the moment, as if we want out. And this is a big part of the whole political play that's happening as a result of what's coming in here. This is much bigger than you're realising. There's a lot of people truly understand that this thing's coming in and are gearing up for it, and breaking us away from Europe is a very dangerous thing right now, because you break away from all forms of human rights if you do this right now. We head into a situation where we really are on our own, and we know that it's to do this because we are in fear of refugees coming into our country, when we know that these refugees are in many cases fleeing the very bombs that we've actually supplied. And and a lot of conflict that we've exacerbated. Um, we know the best solution to this is not to close our borders, but to keep our borders open, but to stop supplying weapons and stop creating wars. You know, we can look and say, did Europe do this? Did Europe do all the crimes that Tony Blair did? Did Europe do all the crimes that David Cameron did? What I consider crimes, you know, invading Libya. I think that was wrong. Just like I thought Tony Blair invading Iraq was wrong. Did Europe do those things? Was that Europe to blame? You know, you've got to ask yourself: did Europe do it? Are you being fooled here? Because guys, I'm not going to be at Glastonbury this year. You know, number one, I haven't. You know, I've been invited to go along and what have you, and get involved in the Gorilla Bar and what have you, which is a big part of what I've done for many years. But I'm not going to be doing the House of Commons because I'm not really welcome to do that. You know, I'm pretty mad at the moment, probably going and soon to be the maddest man in this country. But I cannot contribute to a massive show that's going to be a massive distraction to this EU vote, because I see what they're doing. They're trying to distract you away from it, repulse you away from Europe, and Europe is what you won after the Second World War, after all the lobbying. That's what you finally got, a proportionally run electoral system. And all I can ask you is, if you believe in your heart it is an undemocratic process, can I ask you, hand on your heart, did you vote in that what you call a non-democratic process? Because if you didn't vote, then I can only tell you that what you call was a non-democratic process was simply a non-democratic process for you. Europe didn't do this, guys. Tony Blair, our horrible government, David Cameron, you know, these are all, you know, you can't blame Europe for this. You're being fooled. You're being fooled.